Everybody in Australia knows about the Murray cod. But who has heard of or even seen its close relation, the trout cod? Now this is my short story on these two fish and where you can find them both living together. Obviously the Murray cod stronghold is the Murray River, and their resurgence in this system over the last decade has been nothing short of remarkable. Its closely related cousin, the trout cod, while still gazetted as an endangered species since 1971, has also been fighting back against some severe hurdles. The Murray cod is Australia's largest freshwater fish and has been recorded to a massive weight of over 100 kilos. With a growth rate of only about 1 to 2 kilos per year, that can put a big Murray cod at easily over 50 years old. Their bright green mottling and white fin tips make them easily identified. Trout cod, on the other hand, more commonly now average around about 1 to 2 kilos. Their coloration is a slate grey to blue, hence their reference in the early days as a blue nose. Other differences to its Murray cousin are a distinctive overhanging top jaw and a dark bar across the eye. So why the name trout cod? Well, I guess when our forefathers first came to Australia, they found the two species quite different. And the aggressive nature combined with the blue-grey coloration must have reminded them of their brown trout back home. Trout cod are much more active and aggressive than Murray cod, and also have a preference for cooler, clearer waters. Their distribution now is much more restricted than 100 years ago. They are found in the Murray between Yarrawonga and Cobram, in parts of the Murrumbidgee, as well as a stock population in the Abercrombie River and Talbingo Dam in New South Wales. But one very special place for me, where I reckon I can find one, is in the clear waters of the Upper Murray above Lake Hume. It is there that I've heard rumours of the existence of both species, but despite having drifted down the river dozens of times, I'd still yet to encounter one of these remarkable fish. This is the story of my search for the trout cod. Now here we have a typical cod of the Upper Murray. These small Murray cod are making a resurgence in the clear waters of the Murray above Lake Hume. The cool, clear waters of the Upper Murray certainly looks like ideal trout cod water. At least going by what the scientists say, it is ideal trout cod habitat. Well, this is one of the biggest pools on the Upper Murray, where the Tooma River flows into the Upper Murray. A lot of good cod have been caught in here, but the river's right up. A lot of water flow out of the Cancoban Pondage today. It's put the water right up, the water temperature's gone down, it's a little bit dirtier, so it's forced us off onto the edges to try to catch cod. Well, there you go, about a kilo. Hit this big spinnerbait just in on the back of the snag here. Water's really high and dirty at the moment, so we're a little bit worried about whether we get a fish or not, but obviously in the backwaters and the slower current, where the water's a bit cleaner, they're hanging out. Well, yet another Murray cod, and to be expected, I guess. Apart from a healthy natural recruitment, there has also been a lot of stockings in this section of the Murray River as well. Still searching for that elusive trout cod and figuring the action is all on spinnerbaits, I decided to continue searching the river while drifting from the boat. After drifting past some prime cover, I pulled the boat up and continued firing casts at the snags. There's a good snag 3/4 of the way across the river here, but it's a little bit fast water. So you'd only probably get one cast in on it if you drifted by on the boat. So just pull the boat up on the bank and you get 2 or 3 casts where you want them to go. This looks like it's a nice fish. I just decided early morning we'd just casting a spinnerbait to the opposite bank. I'm not sure. Oh, it's a nice cod. Oh. It's quite often handy with the boat. Some days you can just drift and cast from the boat, but other days if you want to work a pool over, pull your boat up and just hop out the bank and have a bit of a spin of the pool. What a cod. Lure casting from the bank and just pull the boat up, casting to the opposite bank here, and he's a good fish. Taking a red and black spinnerbait, just a straight crank, nothing too hard, and he's a good fish. Maybe he's about 70 centimetres, 5 kilos. We'll just get him back in the water here for you. Still not a trout cod, but what a beautiful specimen of a Murray cod. Around 70 centimetres in length, and see how it exhibits all the typical features of our best known freshwater fish. A lovely green mottling, white tips on the fins, and of course equal jaw lengths top and bottom. Good stuff. There he goes. Now this sort of cover is good cod water, whether that be trout cod or Murray cod. Rock bars, aerated clear water with plenty of deep cover nearby. A good mate of mine, Dougy Blair, was also fishing the river with me this day. And it was here that things started to get very, very interesting. Well, just like so many times before, when you least expect it, it just happens. And what a fish, a trout cod at last. But not only that, this has to be easily the largest trout cod ever captured on film. What a beauty. Well, Doug, we're out in the river chasing mega Murray cod, and this is, yeah,
he's not exactly
what a trout cod.
A mega Murray cod, but anyway.
Yeah. How can you tell it's a trout cod? Obviously the band through the eye.
Yeah, different coloured mouth, a bit more pointier nose.
Overhanging top jaw.
Yeah, and just different colour, in general, darker colour.
You don't see them this big. They are really aggressive fish too. Way more aggressive than a Murray cod, which is probably why they're endangered. This beautiful trout cod easily went 7 kilos or over 15 pounds. Now all trout cod are protected, and if one is inadvertently caught while fishing for Murray cod, then it must be returned to the water unharmed.
Yeah,
hit the lure well out in open water too, chased you out from the cast.
It's very hard to do.
It's not hard to see why the name trout cod came about. This fish does have a bit of a trout colour about it in some ways. Certainly the other name blue nose or blue nose cod is one we can easily identify with. They are very different to our Murray cod colours. Trout cod hold a very special part in our freshwater fishing history. We all felt pretty special to have been a part of this experience, and I'm certain that the trout cod will have a very bright future in Australia for years to come.